Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eagles Ice Arena in beautiful Spokane, Washington for tonight's ACHA matchup between the Gonzaga Bulldogs and your Western Washington Vikings. The second of two games here this weekend between these two teams. Last night wasn't quite the result. The Vikings won in as the Bulldogs came away with a 4-2 win, getting goals from Finn Nash, twice from Nash and Chen Yu Sung, helping them propel to their first win of the season over Western. Andrew Fan and Patrick Pearson were the goal scorers for the Vikings last night. The Vikings will go with Noel Morena in goal here tonight, as on the other end it will be Logan Clothier for the Bulldogs. The final matchup between these two teams this season. These two met back in Bellingham 3 weekends ago, and the Vikings just took it to the Bulldogs, winning 11-3 and 10-4, but last night was a completely different story. The Vikings trying to win the season series, the Bulldogs trying to split it, and away we go from Spokane, Washington. Glad you could join us. Off with it right away is Andrew Finn, and he carries it into the zone, tries to center a pass to Aaron James, and Brett Brumbach stumbled over his stick back the other way. Here come the Bulldogs. Bowers is going to chip it in. He had a goal last night for the Bulldogs. Collected by Aaron James. Gets it up to Brett Brumbach. Brumbach going to get it up to Fan, who gets it back to Brumbach. Brumbach beneath the goal line, looking for an option. Brumbach from the right circle. Shot saved there by Clothier. He covers. We'll see if Logan Clothier is up to the task like Jack Loveland last night. Loveland was seeing quite a few grade A opportunities, and he stood tall. Line 2 out there for the Vikings. Jacob James, Patrick Pearson, and Tyler Chapman. We're going to be seeing a bit different look here tonight for the Vikings. Patrick Pearson. Down low to Jacob James. No Harrison Webster for the Vikings here tonight, so the Vikings will be rolling with 12 forwards and 7D, I do believe. Played in by Pearson. He gets it beneath the goal line. Gifford going to swing it around to Chen Yu Sung. Kept in by Aurelio. He attacks and tries to keep it in, but not for long. Gifford plays it back into the Viking zone. Nicholas Sowai going to get it up to Tyler Chapman. He gets it up to Patrick Pearson. Here's Van Bommel with it for the Bulldogs. Up to Martzoff. Good pressure there by Tyler Chapman. He walks in from the right circle. He's hauled down. No penalty. It's poke check by Kyler Slate. Chapman recollects, tries to get it back to Jacob James, but the Bulldogs get it all the way down. They're going to call icing, and we get a whistle. 18:07 left in the first period. The Vikings trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They were working with a 12-game winning streak up until last Saturday. 3 straight losses, 2 to the Cal Berkeley Bears and 1 to Gonzaga. Carver Johnson with the shot sticked away by Clothier, up and out of play. Love to see Carver Johnson if he could get on the score sheet tonight. Still looking for his first goal of the season. Kyler Slate set to take the draw. He has 4 goals this season. Slate kept in at the blue line, but not for long. It's going to be played by Shapiro. Offsides, we get a whistle. So we're going to have actually a penalty on Andre Shapiro for the Vikings. Unsure of what the call was. I didn't see a signal, but the Vikings are on the early penalty kill. Aaron James set to take the draw. It'll be 5-on-4 early on. James set to take the draw. One and back the other way. Here comes Andrew Fan busting in to the Bulldogs. Don't get it to Aaron James. Couldn't quite get it cleanly. He had a wide open net. Andrew Fan waits, surveys, looking for an option, and that's going to be played back into the Viking zone conservatively by Andrew Fan. Vikings just give it up to the Bulldogs. Van Bommel. Bulldogs had a couple power play goals here last night. Looking to do it again. Chen Yu Sung, he has 3 goals in 3 games against the Vikings. Battling down there with Colton Bowers. All 3 of the goal scorers are on the ice for the Bulldogs who scored last night. And here's Aaron James trying to bust his way in. James tries to chip a pass to Pearson. He had him wide open in the slot. Pearson with the shot on Clothier. He's just going to cover with 55 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Vikings. Shots 3-0 early on. So Vikings try to get back in the win column. They're looking for their 15th win of the season. Tyler Chapman out there to take the draw. Chapman has 16 goals this season. Right off the draw, he shoots it on. That's a save there by Clothier. A couple seconds come off the penalty clock there. Face off one by the Bulldogs. Here comes Chen Yu Sung the other way. Sun across the blue line looking for an option out front. Chen Yu Sung was powering it in on the backhand. One-handed. Back the other way. Here comes Sun. Sun over to Nash. Nash couldn't quite get it cleanly. Out front for Colton Bowers. Couldn't quite get it. Here comes Tyler Chapman the other way. That's going to be steered aside by Logan Powers. Back the other way. Here comes Colton Bowers. Nash drops off the Sun. Sun trying to find Bowers out front. Here's Logan Powers. Chapman's going to play it back into neutral ice. It's going to be collected by Jonas Nelson for the Bulldogs. Nash going to get it up to Logan Powers. Good stick there by Kyler Slate. Not for long. Sun with the shot. Good D there by Jesse Deegan. And out of the box is Andre Shapiro, so we're back to 5-on-5. Goes all the way down for icing. We get a whistle with 15-14 left in the first period. Glad you could join us from beautiful Spokane, Washington, Eagles Ice Arena. I grew up skating in this rink, and let me tell you, nothing has changed since the days I first started skating. The same yellow dashers, the same flags, the same scoreboard. There's Andre Shapiro. He chips it into the Bulldogs. Zone looking for an option out front. So without Webster, Vikings going for a bit different look on the third line. Shapiro and Sandberg playing with Kyla Slate. Slate with the shot. Couldn't quite get it through. Good block there by Will Gillick, but Vikings are delayed offsides. We're going to have a whistle on Ethan Sandberg, who wasn't aware it was delayed offsides. So 15-12 left in the first period. Bulldogs were the ones to get on the board early last night, courtesy of Finn Nash. So the Vikings trying to look to be the first one to score here tonight. Try to set the tone early. Out there to take the draw is Brett Brumbaugh. First line out there for the Vikings. Brumbaugh with 21 goals on the season. Him and Fan are tied for the team lead with 21. Aaron James quick in the zone, bodied there by, looks like that was Logan Powers. Back the other way, here comes Martsoff. Across the blue line, looking for an option. Good block there by Declan Quinn, who's playing defense here tonight. Van Bommel trying to swing it towards the net, and Quinn's going to play back into neutral ice. Hounded there by Bowers. Back into the Western zone. Hunter Smith going to Chip a pass off the wall to Aaron James. Here comes Brett Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh the other way. Looking for Aaron James. James from the slot. Couldn't quite get a clean shot off. Back there, here comes Logan Powers as Declan Quinn loses an edge. Jen Sung with the shot. Saved there by Morena. Out front for Bowers. Couldn't quite get it to him. And back the other way, here comes Aaron James. Logan Powers gets it to Jonas Nelson. The Bulldogs try to set up in the the Viking zone. Collected by Logan Powers. He swings it over to Jonas Nelson. Good forecheck there by Tyler Chapman as the Vikings try to steal possession and get it back into the Bulldog zone. Shots are 3-3 thus far. Collected by Antonio Aurelio from Wenatchee, Washington. 5:09, I believe. Finn Nash out front. Shot there by Colton Bowers and saved by Nolan Morena. We got a whistle. 13:33 left in the first period. My apologies for not putting the score bug on there, but it is on now. It's always something that goes wrong. Antonio Aurelio looking to get it to Jacob James as the Vikings try to set up in the Bulldog zone. Here's Patrick Pearson. He had a goal last night. He's tripped up, and that's going to be called. Nick Sawai with the shot, and that's going to be touched up by the Bulldogs. So the Vikings will go to their first power play of the evening. It'll be McLaren Young going into the box for the Bulldogs. .06 left in the first period. The Vikings try to get on the board. Face-off tied up. Won by the Bulldogs. They get it all the way down. Noel Morena going to touch it up and just settle it down. So Vikings try to set up here on this power play. Out there is power play one for the Vikings. Fan, James Pearson, Hunter Smith, and Brumbaugh. Here's Andrew Fan, swings it around to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh going to swing it back to Fan. Working in the corner. Going to get it to Hunter Smith. To Aaron James from the high slot. Gets it to Hunter Smith. He drops off to Fan. Fan from the left circle finds James. James with the shot. Sails wide. Rebound out front and a goal! Cooper Hunter Smith gets the Vikings on the board. It is 1-0 Western. The Vikings cash in on the power play. Cooper Hunter Smith, his 6th goal of the season. Cooper Hunter Smith. The Vikings lead 1-0. Vikings quick into the zone yet again. Shot by Sawai. Saved by Clothier. Face off to the left of Clothier, tied up by Jacob James. That's going to be one out by Powers, kept in by Pearson. Good battle there by the Vikings captain. Patrick Pearson in his 5th year. Here's Tyler Chapman. He steals it away, tries to get it out to Jacob James out front. Couldn't quite get it to him. Back the other way. Pearson going to settle it. Gotten up to Tyler Chapman. He busts into the Bulldog zone. Chapman looking for an option. Gets it to Sawai. Sawai with the shot. Blocked there by Gillick. Gets back into neutral ice. Good block there by Will Gillick for the Bulldogs. He sixed it all the way in. Antonio Aurelio going to get a pass to Slate. Out front, saved there by Morena. He covers. With 11:18 left in the first period, the Vikings lead 1-0. Here comes Ethan Sandberg the other way with Kyler Slate. Slate chips it all the way in to the Bulldog zone. Andre Shapiro with the puck for the Vikings. Kyler Slate. Slate looking for a shot there. Gloved away by Logan Clothier. Carver Johnson with the shot, blockered away by Clothier, and the puck sails out of play. We get a whistle, 10:51 left in the first period. Face off to the left of Clothier. Out there to take it is Andrew Fan. Taken away by Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh with the shot. Tried to go top shelf. Good block there by Clothier. Fan took Aaron James out front. Sticked away by Clothier. And Baumel with it for the Zags. Battling with Andrew Fan. Brumbaugh tries to come out with it. Ben Baumel going to get it the other way. Here's Sun with it. Hunter Smith just plays it in. He has the first goal here tonight for the Vikings. Played by Andrew Fan. He's looking for an option. Stolen away by Tenyu Sun. Sun looking for an option. Gets it to Bowers. Bowers in the near wall. Andrew Fan comes the other way here. 3-on-2 opportunity for the Vikings. Brumbaugh tries to get it out front to Fan. Going to be played around. Here's Hunter Smith with it for the Vikings. Hunter Smith with the shot that sails wide. Declan Quinn looking for an option. Gets it to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh back to Andrew Fan. The Vikings are hounding. Bulldogs able to come out with it. The Vikings try to get a full change. Chen Yu Sung. Good poke check there by Jacob James. He keeps it in the Bulldog zone. Out with it is Jonas Nelson looking for an option in neutral ice. Going to be collected by Aurelio. Aurelio tries to get it across the ice and all the way down towards Clothier. It's going to be played by Logan Powers. Stick there by Tyler Chapman. Powers. Patrick Pearson plays it low. Here's Jacob James, drops off to Chapman. Chapman looking for somebody. The Bulldogs doing a good job at clogging the center of the ice yet again. They're doing a good job at that last night. Making the prime areas of the ice basically unscorable last night. Tony Aurelio, big check there on Colton Bowers. Here's Nicholas Solai. He gets it up to Kyler Slate. Slate with the shot. Andre Shapiro able to keep it loose. The puck battled there by Sandberg. Jonas Nelson trying to play back into neutral ice. Kept in by Solai. He drops off to Slate. Slate looking for Sun. Sun, and he's going to play the length of the ice. No icing as Jesse Deegan is going to touch it up for the Vikings. 7:55 left in the first period. Sandberg going to play it all the way in. Shapiro looking for his first goal of the season. Back into the Viking zone, collected by Jesse Deegan. Line one out there for the Vikings, taken away by Martzoff. He drops off to Gillick. Gillick looking for an option out front. Here's Gifford. Gifford from the left wall gets it all the way in. Carver Johnson going to come out with it, play it off the wall. Into neutral ice, Clothier. And here comes Andrew Fan. Fan gets it to James. James up to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh couldn't quite get clean wood on it. Brumbaugh looking for an option. Gets it to James. Aaron James. It's going to be stick there by Gifford. James from the right circle. Couldn't quite get it cleanly through. Going to be collected by Hunter Smith. He gets it to Declan Quinn, who's playing defense here tonight. Andrew Fan busting his way into the zone. Fan in on goal. Sticked away by Clothier. Rebound opportunity for Brumbaugh. He couldn't quite get a clean stick on it. It's going to be reset by the Bulldogs as they try to break it out. And here comes the Bulldogs. McLaren Young. Back into neutral ice. Going to be collected by the Bulldogs. Declan Quinn going to play it all the way in. Shots 11-5 thus far in favor of the Vikings. They lead 1-0 on the scoreboard, courtesy of Cooper Hunter Smith on the power play. Here's Pearson with the shot saved there by Logan Clothier. Collected by Tyler Chapman. There's a loose pile of bodies out front of Clothier and back the other way. McLaren Young gets it back into neutral ice. Antonio Aurelio gets it up to Jacob James. James trying to hound Jonas Nelson off the puck. Colton Bowers to Chen Yu Sung, trying to find Nash out front. Couldn't quite get it cleanly to him. Nash would have had a wide open cage. Here comes Jacob James. James plays it all the way in for Patrick Pearson. He's being hounded by Jonas Nelson. Tyler Sauté. Shot on goal, he scores! Kyler Sauté! His 5th goal of the season extends the Vikings lead. It is 2-0. Andrew Fan on the left corner, operating with Aaron James and Brett Brumbaugh. Andrew Fan out front for James. James, it's loose out front of Logan Clothier, and he covers it. Vikings getting some golden opportunities to cash in, extend this lead. Face off won by the Bulldogs. Van Bommel going to settle it down behind the net. The Bulldogs try to get on the board. They had an early 2-0 lead last night. Played all the way down towards Morena. No icing. The Vikings were able to battle back and scored a goal with 1 second left in the second period last night, courtesy of Patrick Pearson. Made it 2-1, Andrew Fan. Over to Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith with the shot. Blocked there by the Bulldogs. They get it back into neutral ice. Fan had a goal in the third period to tie things up, but 2 straight goals by Finn Nash and Chen Yu Sung Gave the Bulldogs their first win over Western this season. Brett Brumbaugh. Here comes Andrew Fan. He gets it to Aaron James. James with the shot. He scores! Piping in. Aaron James. Pass there by Andrew Fan. Good shot there for number 91 for the Vikings as they extend their lead. It is 3-0. Shots 15-5 in favor of the Vikings thus far. Much different story tonight compared to last night. Aaron James, his 18th goal of the season. Makes it 3-0 Vikings. Here's Nicholas Owai, he creeps in. Shot by Chapman, he scores! Tyler Chapman. His 17th of the season gives the Vikings a 4-0 lead. Just seconds after Aaron James's tally, Tyler Chapman from the right circle buries it. And by Pearson, here's Tyler Chapman. He's going to bust it in. Chapman looking for another. Out front for Clothier. He covers it. 2:39 left in the first period. Much different story compared to last night. This game feels similar to the ones in Bellingham. Taken away by Jonas Nelson for the Bulldogs. McLaren Young going to play it around. Kept in by Aurelio with a shot. Saved there by Clothier. We got a whistle with 2:22 left in the first period. Face off won by the Bulldogs. Tristan Anderson going to get it to Carver Johnson. Johnson with the shot blocked there by Nash. And Baumel for the Bulldogs trying to break it out. Vikings doing a good job at having the Bulldogs into their own zone the later stages of this first period. Minute 56 left. They're continue to just chip pucks deep and go to work. Kyler Saute. Yeah, the second goal. Saute with the shot, saved there by Logan Clothier. Almost from the same spot he scored earlier. We get a whistle. 1:40 left in the first period. Shots 18-5 in favor of the Vikings. Saute set to take the draw with Shapiro and Tristan Anderson. Anderson still rocking his pink skate laces from Pink the Rink Night. I think that's just a vibe for him. Chen Yu Sung. The Bulldogs try to get on the board late in this first period. Brett Brumbaugh going to chip it off the wall to Kyler Saute. Here he comes. Saute busting his way in. Good play away by Caden Clothier. Bowers stolen by Andrew Fan. That's back into neutral ice. Being hounded by Aaron James, taken away by Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh in on goal. Sticked away by Logan Clothier, but still loose. Brumbaugh looking for the loose change. Couldn't quite get it home. Back the other way. Here comes Chen Yu Sung. Good stick there by Aaron James. 35 seconds left in the first period. Colton Bowers taken away by Chen Yu Sung. Shot shouldered away by Morena. Good stop there. Bowers with the shot. Glove there by Morena. Hunter Smith with it for the Vikings. He settles it down as they try to get one last rush opportunity in this first period. Brumbaugh to James out front. James in alone. Couldn't quite get it home. Colton Bowers going to come out with it. 6 seconds left. He gets it to Logan Powers, and that should do it for the first period. The Vikings open the floodgates. Goals from Cooper Hunter Smith, Kyler Sate, Aaron James, and Tyler Chapman give them a 4-0 lead after the first period. They try to take the season series from the Bulldogs as they lead it 2-1. We'll be back in about 20 minutes from Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. You're watching Vikings hockey on the Vikings YouTube channel.
What's your favorite band?
Ooh, favorite band? Secret, what's a good band?
Band? That's a hard question.
I know. Remember my ACDC recently, bro. Getting back into this.
Motley Crue.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Ooh, I'd say Fleetwood Mac.
ACDC?
Ariana Grande.
Modest Mouse. Oh, King Gibbs.
Motley Crue.
Metallica.
Favorite band? I have two favorite artists, Jake Paul and KSI.
I have to go with the Lumineers.
comes Andrew Fan. Fan over to James. Out front, he scores! Aaron James! Face off one by the Vikings. Gone to Hunter Smith. Here's Brumbaugh with Aaron James out front. He scores! Aaron James, his second of the game. Good pass there by Brett Brumbaugh. Looking for an outlet. He tries to find Aurelio. Aurelio with a shot that sails wider than that. Nicholas Owai with another shot. And a tip out front. Now goal. Jacob James. Shot for the point by Nicholas Owai. And Jacob James with the tip. It is 3-1 Vikings. Out of the box is Tyler Chapman. The Vikings get a power play. Here's Ethan Seekert over to James, and he scores! Aaron James has the hat trick. 4-1 Western. Pop a pass there. Here comes Andrew Fan. Fan with some open eyes. Gonna drop a pass to Aaron James. James over to Brumbaugh. He scores! Britt Brumbaugh. Chapman with a shot pass. Taken away by Calder. Pearson with the shot. On goal, far down. He scores! The Teddy Bear toss goal! And here come the Bears! Patrick Pearson does it again! It is 1-0 Western! Couldn't quite get clean wood on it, and it's back into neutral ice. Here's Van gonna seal it away. One last rush opportunity. Here's Secord. Secord busted. Gets it to Fiat. Chapman out front. He scores! What a pass by Ethan Secord over to Chapman. And he buries it. The Vikings have a 2-1 lead with 3 seconds left. Drew Fan with the puck. Fan makes a cut. In on goal, and it goes in. Andrew Fan. What a move. A reset. Get it to Andrew Fan. Fan over to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh trying to find James. James out front. Over to Brumbaugh. He scores! Brett Brumbaugh ties the game. For the Vikings, it is 4-4. Brumbaugh has his 20th goal of the season. Just behind the play, here's Harrison Webster in the slide. He scores! Harrison Webster! Into the corner for Andrew Fan. Fan out front to Pearson. He scores! Patrick Pearson, his second goal of the night. And the Vikings regain the lead. It is 6-5. Jacob James gonna steer it all the way in. Here's Harrison Webster. He plays it out to Chapman. He scores! Tyler Chapman, his second of the night. Good pass there from Harrison Webster. Sends the Vikings lead. It is 7-5. Here he comes. Shot on goal. He scores! Ethan Secord extends the Vikings lead. It is 8-6. 3:34 left in the third period. Out in the neutral ice, Webster. Brumbaugh couldn't quite get it, but that will do it. Western gets their 12th straight win. 8-6 is the final here tonight.
What's your favorite band?
Ooh, favorite band? Secret, what's a good band?
Band? That's a hard question.
I remember my AC/DC recently, bro. Getting back into the.
Motley Crue.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Ooh, I'd say Fleetwood Mac.
AC/DC.
Ariana Grande.
Camp.
Modest Mouse. Oh, King Gibbs.
Motley Crue.
Metallica.
Favorite band? I have two favorite artists, Jake Paul and KSI.
I have to go with the Lumineers.
Here comes Andrew Fan. Fan over to James. Out front, he scores! Aaron James! Face off one by the Vikings. Got into Hunter Smith. Here's Brumbaugh with Aaron James out front. He scores! Aaron James, his second of the game. Good pass there by Brett Brumbaugh. Looking for an outlet. Tries to find Aurelio. Aurelio with a shot that sails wider than that. Nicholas Owai with another shot. And a tip out front, now goal! Jacob James! Shot for the point by Nicholas Owai. And Jacob James with the tip. It is 3-1 Vikings. Out of the box is Tyler Chapman. The Vikings get a power play. Here's Ethan Seekert over to James, and he scores! Aaron James has the hat trick. 4-1 Western. Pop a pass there. Here comes Andrew Fan. Fan with some open eyes. Going to drop a pass to Aaron James. James over to Brumbaugh. He scores! Brent Brumbaugh. Chapman with a shot pass. Taken away by Calder. Pearson with the shot. A goal bar down. He scores! The Teddy Bear toss goal! And here come the Bears! Patrick Pearson does it again! It is 1-0 Western! Couldn't quite get clean wood on it, and it's back into neutral ice. Here's Fan Secord. Secord busted. Gets it to Chapman out front. He scores. What a pass by Ethan Secord over to Chapman. And he buries it. The Vikings have a 2-1 lead with 3 seconds left. Drew Fan with the puck. Fan makes a cut. In on goal, and it goes in. Andrew Fan. What a move. Reset. Get it to Andrew Fan. Fan over to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh trying to find James. James out front. Over to Brumbaugh. He scores! Brett Brumbaugh ties the game. For the Vikings, it is 4-4. Brumbaugh has his 20th goal of the season. Just behind the play, here's Harrison Webster in the slide. He scores! Harrison Webster! Into the corner for Andrew Fan. Fan out front to Pearson. He scores! Patrick Pearson, his second goal of the night. And the Vikings regain the lead. It is 6-5. Kip James gonna steer it all the way in. Here's Harrison Webster. He plays it out to Chapman. He scores! Tyler Chapman, his second of the night. Good pass there from Harrison Webster. Sends the Vikings lead. It is 7-5. Here he comes. Shot on goal. He scores! Ethan Secord extends the Vikings lead. It is 8-6. 3:34 left in the third period. Out in the neutral ice, Webster. Brumbaugh couldn't quite get it, but that will do it. Worcester gets their 12th straight win. 8-6 is the final here tonight.
What's your favorite band?
Ooh, favorite band? Secret, what's a good band?
Band? That's a hard question.
I remember my ACDC recently, bro. Getting back into this.
Motley Crue.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Ooh, I'd say Fleetwood Mac.
ACDC?
Ariana Grande.
Cam.
Modest Mouse. Oh, King Gibbs.
Motley Crue.
Metallica.
Favorite band? I have two favorite artists, Jake Paul and KSI.
I have to go with the Luminaires.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. Figure I update everyone on the situation that's right now, as it was supposed to be the start of the second period, but there is a piece of dasher board that is being fixed by the Eagles Ice Arena staff, and we've got some lingering players at the entrance of the ice down here. The referees have gone back into their rooms, so we have no idea. As you can see, we'll zoom in on Patrick Pearson and Colton Bowers, who are at the officials' room. See if we can zoom in all the way. As you can see, Patrick Pearson and Colton Bowers for the Bulldogs and the Vikings are outside of the officials' rooms. The officials have gone into their room. So we will update you on any happenings momentarily, but for now we'll be taking a break. So you're watching Vikings hockey on the Vikings YouTube channel. Alrighty, folks, if you're just joining us, the Vikings and the Bulldogs are in a game delay right now, as there's a bit of the dasher board in the Bulldogs' end of the ice in this second period that is jutting out. And there's been quite the lengthy conversation happening at the referees' room between both captains for the two teams. Declan Quinn and Tyler Chapman are down there trying to get to the officials. And so it looks like players are signaling to get back on the ice. We'll see if what the officials, if they're coming out. Looks like we're going to be back on here after quite the delay. We'll take a bit of a break here and then come back with hopefully the second period of action here from Eagles Ice Arena. Alrighty, folks, we are officially back for the second period of play between the Bulldogs and the Vikings. After a lengthy delay, probably over 15 minutes, I would say, of the officials back in their own room. But the Bulldogs and the Vikings are back for the second period of play after the Vikings scored 4 unanswered goals in the first period. Have a 4-0 lead. Goals courtesy of Hunter Smith, Slate, Aaron James, and Tyler Chapman. So the face-off will be to the right of Noel Morena to open this period, and we're going to have a little bit of a delay from the referees. Looks like they were picking up something off the ice, but we play on. Here's Brett Brumbaugh going the other way with Aaron James and Andrew Fan. Going to be played by Nash. Gone down to Colton Bowers. He swings it in. Cooper, Hunter Smith. Gets a pass to Declan Quinn. It's played out front. Brumbaugh going to get it up to Aaron James. Here he comes. James looking for Andrew Fan in the slot. Couldn't quite get it to him. Caden Clothier down there for the Bulldogs battling. James out front of Logan Clothier. Brumbaugh with the opportunity there. Brumbaugh gets it yet again. Shot up high there on Clothier. Intercepted by James. He tries to get it down low to Fan. Good tip there by Van Bommel. Vikings delayed offsides. They get a change. Minute gone here in this second period. Finn Nash. The block there by Declan Quinn out front. Collected by Cooper Hunter-Smith. He swings it to the corner for Finn Nash. Cooper Hunter-Smith gets it off the wall to Jacob James. Gifford. Play down low. Declan Quinn gets it up to Patrick Pearson. Couldn't quite get it to him, however, and that goes the length of the ice. It'll be icing. 18:24 left in the second period. Glad you could join us from Eagles Ice Arena. Thank you for sticking with us through that lengthy delay. We'll get official word on what the delay was for. We know it was for the dasher board, but why the officials went back into their room, we'll get official word hopefully a little later. Tyler Chapman sold away, shot on goal, and they score. The Bulldogs are on the board. Number 29 for the Bulldogs. Can't quite read his name from here. Peltoma. Don't have his name on my roster, so I apologize, but Peltoma gets the goal for the Bulldogs, and they are within 3. Ethan Sandberg trying to share it out front for Andre Shapiro. Good job by the Bulldogs to strike, getting that golden opportunity there. Andre Shapiro, it's swung all the way in by Gillick. Going to be played by Morena behind the net. Johnson going to try to get it up to Sandberg, and here comes Skylar Slate. He has the second goal here this evening. Was his 5th goal of the year. Battling with Andre Shapiro. Slate tries to dig it out. Logan Powers down there for the Bulldogs. Collected by Jesse Deegan in to center ice there. Here's Jesse Deegan, tried to evade a bit of a check, and back the other way. Here comes Jonas Nelson for the Bulldogs. Good stick there by Jesse Deegan. He gets it off the wall. Graham Everett for the Bulldogs tries to chip it back into the center of the ice. And charging is Aaron James back in the Bulldog zone. Is McLaren Young stolen away by Andrew Fan. He makes a move. Drops a pass to James. Back to Brumbaugh. Good block there by Van Bommel. Here's Aaron James. James out front for Fan. Couldn't quite get it to him. Carver Johnson with a shot that sails wide. Aaron James plays it down low to Fan. Fan finds Brumbaugh. Couldn't quite get it cleanly. Aaron James drops off a pass to Hunter Smith. He has a goal here. Andrew Fan out to Hunter Smith. It's loose in the slot. Couldn't quite get it to him. And back into neutral ice going to be played by Declan Quinn. Aaron James with it for the Vikings. James drops a pass to Andrew Fan, who makes a move. He out front tried to find James. Couldn't quite get it to him. Van Bommel for the Bulldogs. 16:08 left in the second period. Poke check there by Van Bommel. Back into the Bulldog zone, played by Colton Bowers. He gets it off the wall. He's collected by Declan Quinn. He tries to get it off the wall to Jacob James. It's back into the Bulldog zone. They recollect it. They try to claw their way back into this one. Bulldogs won last night 4-2. Vikings lead right now 4-1. They lead the season series 2-1. Here's Cooper Hunter Smith. He plays it all the way in. Jacob James charges. Drops off a pass, couldn't quite get it to Chapman. Chen Yu-sung gets it to Aurelia, who tries to keep it in. He's tripped up, no call there. Tyler Chapman protecting the puck, looking for an option, tries to get it out front for Jacob James, he scores! Good work by Tyler Chapman. Skating around, finds Jacob James out front, and he buries it. Jacob James, his 11th goal of the season, extends the Vikings lead. It is 5-1. Great play by the Vikings. Just hounding the offensive zone. Played by Ethan Sandberg. Down in the Viking zone, collected by Jesse Deegan. Vikings try to extend their lead. Shots 21-7 thus far in favor of the Vikings. Shot on by Nelson. Martzoff battling with Jesse Deegan. Going to be played the other way. Here comes Kyler Slate into neutral ice. Puck played by Jonas Nelson across the ice to Logan Powers. Powers tries to get it up to Jonas Nelson, who gets it across the ice to Paltoma. He has the goal here for the Bulldogs. Sticked away by Noel Morena, and back come the Vikings the other way. Kyler Slate. That'll be whistled dead. Offsides. Actually, we're going to get a penalty on the Vikings. It's going to be too many men. The Vikings were called for that last night, and they're going to get called for it again. Or actually, never mind. That's going to be the Gonzaga Bulldogs. I'm sorry, my eyes deceived me. I looked on the ice. It looked like 7 Vikings were on the ice. They call it on the Bulldogs. So the Vikings will get the power play here. 13:54 left in the second period. They try to add on to their lead. Out there will be power play 1. Andrew Fan played it to Aaron James. Back the other way, Chen Yu-sung. That's going to be played by Marina back into neutral ice. Vikings try to set up in the Bulldog zone. Here's Andrew Fan. Busts his way in. Fan with the shot. Sails wide. Rebound opportunity there for Fan. Another shot on. Here's Van Bommel. He's just going to try to steer back into neutral ice. Brett Brumbach couldn't quite keep it in. Played in by Brett Brumbaugh. It's going to be sticked down by Colton Bowers in the Viking zone. Minute 20 left in the power play for the Vikings. Here's Cooper Hunter-Smith. He goes the other way. Looking for an opportunity. We get a whistle. Offsides is the call. 13:03 left in the second. Glad you could join us from Spokane, Washington. You're watching Vikings hockey on the Vikings YouTube channel. Puck controlled by the Vikings. Here comes Tyler Chapman busting his way in. Shot on goal, hit the post there. Chapman feeling himself thus far this second period. An assist on Jacob James's goal. Here's Sawai. Gets it across to Tyler Chapman. 42 seconds left in the power play for the Vikings. Chapman circles around, looking for an option. Gets it off to Sawai, who finds Declan Quinn in the corner. Tries to find Jacob James out front. Couldn't quite get it to him. Martzoff tries to stick Slate off the puck. He does, and it swings it all the way down. 23 seconds left in the power play. One last rush opportunity for the Vikings if they hurry. Bulldogs get a full change. Looks like they had 5 on the ice yet again. Officials do not call the Bulldogs yet again. Here's Nick Sawai, a shot from the left point. He scores! Nicholas Sawai on the power play extends the Vikings lead. It is 6-1. 11:55 left in the second period. This is the Vikings team we've grown accustomed to this season. Just throwing pucks on the net, getting as much towards the net as possible. Play back in the Bulldog zone. McLaren Young. Stick there by Tristan Anderson. They go all the way down. Jesse Deegan for the Vikings tries to spring a pass to Ethan Sandberg. Here comes Sandberg into the Bulldog zone. Looking for his first goal of the season. Van Bommel for the Bulldogs. Circling around. Gets it up to McLaren Young. Couldn't quite get it cleanly. Jesse Deegan going to play it all the way in. He's settled down by Van Bommel. Gets it off the wall. Back into the Viking zone. That will be icing. 11:03 left in the second period. Glad you could join us from beautiful Spokane, Washington. The second of two games here this weekend between the Vikings and the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs took last night. A final of 4-2. Vikings took the first two games of the season series back in Bellingham. Shot on goal by Brett Brumbaugh, seen all the way by Logan Clothier immediately off the draw. As I was saying, the Vikings won both games back in Bellingham at the start of the year. October 24th and 25th, they won 10-4 and 11-3. Out there to take it is Andrew Fan. Declan Quinn. This Vikings team has only lost 4 games this season. They've played 20 thus far. Here comes Whittington the other way. Celia Whittington plays it all the way in. Hunter Smith for the Vikings. There's a few pirouettes. Looks for Fan, gets it off the wall. Bauer swings it towards the goal. Blocked there by Declan Quinn. Down low, Cooper Hunter Smith with it for the Vikings. He goes the other way. Hunter Smith gets it up to Aaron James. James finds Brumbaugh. It's loose out front. Couldn't quite get it cleanly. Was Brumbaugh. Jonas Nelson plays it to Andrew Fan. Here's Brett Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh drops off to Andrew Fan. Going to be collected by Brumbaugh yet again, battling with Colton Bowers for the Bulldogs. Gotten to Andrew Fan. Fan with the shot from the left circle. Rebound. It's loose out front of Clothier. Collected by Colton Bowers. He gets it back into neutral ice. Try to get it to Finn Nash. Hunter Smith plays it all the way in for the Vikings. Shots 24-7 thus far in favor of the Vikings. They lead on the scoreboard. It is 6-1. It's played all the way down. Tony Aurelio swings it around for Finn Nash. Aurelio looking to clear it yet again. Here comes Patrick Pearson the other way. Gets a pass to Jacob James. James looking for Pearson out front. Chapman opening it up. Jacob James turns it over. Tyler Chapman. Jacob James battling with Gifford for the Bulldogs. Sticked up by Chen Yu Sung. Gotten to Sawai. Sawai from the point. Shot saved there by Clothier. He covers. We got a whistle with 8:41 left in the second period. You're watching Vikings hockey on the Vikings YouTube channel. Carver Johnson battling with, looks like that was McLaren Young, or I beg your pardon, Paltoma. It's Gifford. Gets it to Caden Clothier. Here comes Will Gillick the other way for the Bulldogs. Noel Morena steers it to Jesse Deegan. He's trying to get it up to Andre Shapiro. Out front for Gillick. Good save there by Noel Morena. Pad stop, point blank. Looked like that was Paltoma. He has the first goal for the Bulldogs. That puck goes all the way down. It'll be icing with 7:57 left in the second period. Eagles Ice Arena. Quite the venue. There's a lot of space behind the net on each end. Almost what a normal, probably half of what a normal distance between the red line, the center red line, and the blue line would be in a regular rink. There's a lot of space to work with. Back in behind that goal there. Collected by Jesse Deegan. He's being hounded by Paltoma. Rhett Brumbaugh going to come out with it the other way. Here comes Rhett Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh looking around for an option. Gets it to Fan. Fan does a little stop there. Gone to Hunter Smith at the blue line. Hunter Smith with the shot tipped by Fan. Couldn't quite get it in. Andrew Fan gets it to Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith with the shot. Almost tipped on goal by Aaron James. Van Bommel with it for the Bulldogs. He's going to spin around. Gets it to Whittington, turned over by the Bulldogs. Van Bommel with it for Gonzaga. Played in by Paltoma. Into the Viking zone. To be played by Cooper Hunter Smith. He tries to get it up to Jacob James. Back into the zone is Colton Bowers. Good defense there by Cooper Hunter Smith. Jacob James plays it around for Hunter Smith. Gets it off the wall into neutral ice. Caden Clothier battling on there is Tyler Chapman. He forechecks. Going to be collected by Finn Nash, who gets it over to Chen Yu Sung. Sun drops off to Nash. Nash in on Sun. Shot saved there by Morena. Good stop by the Vikings netminder. Here comes Tyler Chapman the other way. Busts his way in. Good defense there by Clothier. Finn Nash steers it towards Morena. Chen Yu Sung as the Bulldogs hound the Vikings. Chen Yu Sung tried to find Colton Bowers out front. Back into neutral ice. It's going to be collected by Logan Powers. He gets it all the way in. 5:15 left in this second period. Martzoff going to steer it towards Morena. Old Morena from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Stop 9 of 10 thus far. We are going to get a penalty on the Bulldogs. It's going to go against Paltoma yet again. 4:57 left in the second period. Vikings will go to the power play for the second time this period. They try to cash in. They got a power play goal from Nicholas Sowai earlier this period. Played all the way down into the Viking zone. Aaron James going to collect it and go the other way. Here's Aaron James. Busts his way in. Shot. Sails high and wide. Good opportunity for Aaron James to get his second goal of the night. Hunter Smith gets it to Andrew Fan. Fan over to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh sauces a pass over to Hunter Smith, to Andrew Fan. Aaron James over to Fan from the left circle. Back to James. Back to Brumbaugh from the right circle. Shot saved there by Clothier. It's loose. Patrick Pearson tries to swipe at it. Brumbaugh from the right circle. Shot gloved away by Clothier. We get a whistle. 1:09 left in the power play for the Vikings. 4:06 left in the second period. Shots 28-10 in favor of the Vikings thus far. Basically 1 out of 4 for goals to shots ratio. Kyler Slate gets it across the ice to Declan Quinn. That was a smart play there from Slate. Sawai plays it down low into the corner. Slate battling with Caden Clothier. Kyler Slate. Gifford plays it off the wall. He's going to play it back into neutral ice. The Bulldogs try to kill this penalty. Here's Gifford out front trying to find Graham Everett. The delayed offsides, 25 seconds left in the power play. One last rush opportunity for the Vikings if they hurry. Bulldogs doing a good job at hemming them in their own zone. Not for long as here comes Tyler Chapman. Chapman gets it to Jacob James. 5 seconds left in the power play. Chapman down low to James. Gets it to Sawai. Sawai with the shot. Sails wide. Declan Quinn took a bit of a tumble in front of Clothier. Altoma is out of the box. We are back to full strength. Chapman with the shot. He scores! Tyler Chapman. The shadows of the power play extends the Vikings lead. It is 7-1. Play back into the zone, Bowers, and we're going to get a penalty on the Vikings. The net is off entirely, and we're going to get a whistle. So it looks like it'll be a penalty on the Vikings for, looks like cross-checking. It's going to go against Andre Shapiro, so Bulldogs will get a power play. Vikings win it and play it all the way down. Penalty to Andre Shapiro. So Bulldogs try to get on the board at the end of this second period. Here comes Colton Bowers the other way for the Bulldogs. Bowers creeps his way in. Bowers making a move on Aurelio. Try to get it out front. Couldn't quite get it cleanly. It's still loose in front of Noel Morena. Van Bommel for the Bulldogs. With the shot tipped there by Colton Bowers. Rebound in front of Morena. He's able to steer it aside. Here's Graham Everett. He plays it out to Bowers. Couldn't quite get it to him. Here's Chen Yu Sung. He has 3 goals against the Vikings this season. Van Bommel with the shot. Tipped out front by Finn Nash. That goes wild. Finn Nash looking for an option. Gets it to Colton Bowers from the right point. He swings it to Nash from the right circle. Gets it to Bowers from the top of the right circle. And Patrick Pearson's able to play it all the way down. 44 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Vikings. Minute 7 left in the second period. shots. 29-12 in favor of the Vikings thus far. They lead on the scoreboard 7-1. Try to add on to this lead. Will Gillick. Here comes Nash. 3-on-2 opportunity. Shot blocked away by Morena. Up and out of play. We get a whistle. 43 seconds left in the second period. Vikings will be back home December 5th and 6th against the University of Washington Huskies. Their final Pac-8 games of the season. Hope to see you there, Bellingham Sportsplex. The Vikings have found quite the success this season. They are 8-2 thus far on the home campaign. Only 2 losses coming to the Cal Berkeley Bears last weekend. Andrew Fan gets a pass to Brett Brumbaugh with 20 seconds. Gets it out to Fan. The Vikings look to tack on at the end of the second period. James out front, try to tip it to Brett Brumbaugh. Good play by Andrew Fan. It's loose out front. Still loose, and Clothier is able to cover. 5 seconds left in the second period. Good play, good action by the first line for the Vikings at the end of this second period. We'll see what that ends up doing the rest of the game. The clock approaches midnight on the West Coast. Andrew Fan tries to play it out front, and that'll do it for the second period. So the Vikings tack on to their 4-0 lead at the end of the first after a lengthy delay to start this second period. They get goals from Jacob James, Nicholas Sowai, and Tyler Chapman. They lead 7-1 after 2 periods of play from Spokane, Washington. So we're not gonna have a break. We're not going to have a break. It's just going to be a little 5-minute break because of the delay to start the second period. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back from Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. You're watching Vikings hockey on the Vikings YouTube channel.
What's your favorite band?
We're back for the third period of play here between the Vikings and the Bulldogs. You see the linesman in the background dancing along to bar song. It's that time of night, folks. 11:42 on the West Coast. Glad you could join us from Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. Bit of a homecoming for me. This was my home rink growing up. Learned to skate here, learned to play hockey here. It's quite the rink. Quite the storied history here. Youth programs of Seha and the Spokane Braves of the KIJHL as Andrew Fan breaks his way in. Braves played here earlier this evening. They lost to the forgetting what their name is. The Golden Rockets. 3-2. Here comes Aaron James busting in the Bulldog zone. We get a whistle. It is offsides. It's the linesman's whistle. Kind of squeaky there. Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane. Actually, Spokane's going to be building there's a proposal right now for Spokane to be building a couple new sheets of ice out in Spokane Valley. Those of you know in geography, that's going to be out near the Valley Mall in Spokane. Love seeing the added ice, especially in this region, in the state. Jacob James set to take the draw for the Vikings as it's played back in by the Bulldogs. Tyler Chapman is Antonio Aurelio. It's it to Jacob James, back to Aurelio. Aurelio from the slot, shot on goal, he scores! Antonio Aurelio, his second goal of the season. The Vikings extend their lead. It is, or actually, maybe it was his first. They grabbed the puck like it was his first. Antonio Aurelio, his first goal as a Viking. It is 8-1. My stats have it Aurelio as one goal thus far this season. So maybe somewhere along the way I lost track and counted Aurelio as one goal, but he gets his first. Jacob James plays it. Here's Gillick. Gifford with the shot, tipped by Jacob James. Pearson tries to get it up to Chapman. Here he comes. Tyler Chapman busting his way in. Looking for Patrick Pearson. Pearson with the shot. In the pads there of Caden Clothier. It's played back into neutral ice. Shots 31-13 in favor of the Vikings thus far. Chapman with the shots that's blocked by Caden Clothier. Back into neutral ice, played by Chapman. Clothier gonna swing it all the way in. Jesse Deegan gonna swing it around to Andre Shapiro for the Vikings. He gets it down. Gonna be played by Jonas Nelson. For checking there is Ethan Sandberg. He's gotten up to Carver Johnson and he intercepts it. Here he comes, Carver Johnson. It's going to be whistled offsides. Andre Shapiro unable to keep it in. He's got to try to keep his edges there. 16:59 left in the third period. Kyla Slete set to take the draw for the Vikings. One by Slete all the way down. We're going to get a penalty on Kyla Slete. So the Bulldogs will get a power play. Kyla Slate set to go to the box for the Vikings, so it'll be 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. 16:46 left in the third period. Aaron James set to take the draw for the Vikings. Colton Bowers wins it clean to Van Bommel. Gets it to Sun. Sun sauces a pass over. Here's Bowers. This play back into neutral ice going to be collected by Sun. Gets it across to Colton Bowers. Being hounded by Aaron James, and that's going to go into the Viking zone. Swung around by Sun. Nash. That's back into the Bulldog zone. Andrew Fan is charging on Van Bommel, who gets it up to Colton Bowers. Bowers with the shot. Saved there by Morena. Graham Everett. Nash gets it to Van Bommel at the left point. Bommel walking the line. Shot on. Blocked there by Fan. He gets it out into neutral ice. Here comes Aaron James with the burst of speed. Here comes James. In on a goal. He scores! Aaron James. His second goal of the game. His 19th goal of the season. Sends the Vikings lead. It is 9-1. So they try to put double digits on the Bulldogs for the third time this season. How about that play by Aaron James, shorthanded? Vikings love that power kill of James and Andrew Fan. From Eagle River, Alaska. Brumbaugh in on goal, sticked away. Brumbaugh, another native Alaskan. Brumbaugh. Here comes Logan Powers the other way. I have not seen Miles Deneen thus far for the Bulldogs. I don't believe he's playing here tonight. But about 6 Alaskans on the ice this weekend for the Zags and the Bulldogs. Brett Brumbaugh, Aaron James, Jacob James, and Andrew Fan, of course. There's a shot by Logan Powers, sails wide. But Miles Deneen, also from Alaska. And there's another player for the Bulldogs. I'm blanking on his name right now. Here's Brett Brumbaugh. He barges in and he scores. Vikings have their 10th goal of the game. Brett Brumbaugh. His 22nd of the season. Played all the way in by Chen Yu Sung. The Vikings put double digits on the Bulldogs for the third time this season. Looking more like the team that has dominated all season. Puck sails out of play by Carver Johnson. We get a whistle. 14:06 left in the third. Glad you could join us from Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. Fourth and final time this season, the Bulldogs and the Vikings meet. Shot by Van Bommel, that's seen by Morena. We get another play here. Face off to the right of Morena. Carlos Sate set to take the draw. Sate from Bellingham, Washington. Native to Bellingham, grew up playing in the minor hockey systems in Bellingham. Always fun seeing a player come back to their hometown and really perform. Here's Andre Shapiro busting his way in for the Vikings. Sate trying to center a pass to Ethan Sandberg. Kept by Shapiro. Shapiro trying to bust his way in. Hunter Smith. Played by Hunter Smith. Here he comes across neutral ice. Hunter Smith from the right circle creeps his way in. He's the one who opened the scoring here tonight for the Vikings. His 6th goal of the season. Intercepted by Aaron James. Here he comes. James in alone. Shot on goal. He scores! Aaron James, the hat trick. It is 11-1. Aaron James has his 20th goal of the season. And here he comes yet again. Is he going to make another move? Almost his 4th goal of the game. Played by Andrew Fan. He creeps his way in. Steered aside by Graham Everett. Back the other way, here comes Eaton. He plays it into the Viking zone. Aurelio. Graham Everett. Everett with the shot. It sails up and wide. Nelson with the shot. Sticked away by Morena. Brumbaugh tries to play it out into center ice. Here comes Aaron James with it. James across the blue line, but that's going to be whistled offsides. 11:59 left in the 3rd period. Looks like they're going to do running clock the rest of the night. So the clock will be running. The Vikings leading 11-1. Very much a I want to go home decision. To be fair, I also want to go home. But some business left to do. Harvey Johnson tries to center a pass to Chapman. Here's Jesse Deegan with the shot. Tipped on. Saved there by Clothier. Get a whistle with 11:13 left in the third period. Jacob James set to take the draw for the Vikings. There's Van Bommel for the Bulldogs. Gonna get it around. Jacob James battling with Chapman. Chapman trying to center a pass to Pearson. Collected by the Vikings in neutral ice. Vikings will be in Winthrop, Washington next week as they face the Washington State Cougars in the 2nd edition of the Winthrop Outdoor Classic, Collegiate Classic. The Cougars won last year's battle. Vikings looking to even the score here this year. They beat the Cougars twice down in Pullman this season. 4-3 and 7-2. Cougars no doubt will be looking for some revenge. Big body there by Ethan Sandberg. 9:52 left. Looks like he's been doing that at least once a game. Martzoff plays it back into the Viking zone. Collected by Declan Quinn. Here's Gillick for the Bulldogs. Body there by Declan Quinn. Looks like the Mighty Ducks D2 out here at Bash Brothers. Vikings just throwing the body around to end this one. Good job by Andre Shapiro there to win the race. King Cloutier battling with Slate. See if Ethan Sandberg's able to get on the board. Looking for his first of the season. Same with Andre Shapiro. 35 shots on. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to go against the Bulldogs. Vikings will get a power play. The clock is still running. Aaron James has a hat trick here tonight. Andrew Fan set to take the draw. Face off to the left of Clothier. Down in the corner. Fan played out by Hunter Smith, gets it to Aaron James, who gets it across to Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh walking the blue line. Gets it to Aaron James, across the ice to Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith looking for an option out front. Pass to no man's land back into neutral ice. Aaron James. Feels like the end of this game is just going to be fundamentals for both teams. Brett Brumbaugh drops off a pass to Hunter Smith. It's a pass to Aaron James over to Andrew Fan. Fan back to James. Back to Hunter Smith. It's creeping in, looking for Fan. Back to James. Hunter Smith from the left circle gets it over to Brumbaugh from the right circle. He shoots and scores! Brett Brumbaugh, his 23rd goal of the season, his second of the game. Power play goal for the Vikings. It is 12-1. Speaking of Mighty Ducks D2, 12-1. 12-1. Fortunately, the Vikings. Actually, you know, the Vikings. That was the team in Mighty Ducks D2. As Tyler Chapman busts his way in, the Vikings were beating the Ducks 12-1, the Icelandic team. It's almost past 12 o'clock, folks. That's why we're talking about this type of stuff. Here's Tyler Chapman. He busts into the Bulldog zone, trying to find Anderson out front. He goes high and wide. And Baumel plays it to Nash. Then Nash. Dropped off to Colton Bowers. Colton Bowers with a shot saved there by Morena. 5:56 left in the third period. Clock still running as we pass midnight here on the West Coast. Glad you could join us from Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington here tonight. Vikings will be back in the Spokane area at the end of, or in the middle of January as they play they play the Washington State Cougars and Eastern Washington Eagles in Cheney. So good opportunity for the Vikings towards the end of the season. Those games won't count for Pac-8 points, but matter nonetheless. It'll be after a trip to Butte, Montana for the Montana Tech Ore Diggers. Really excited for that matchup as those two teams will go at it for the first of 4 times. Gifford across to Caden Cloutier. The Vikings will go to Montana Tech. Then the Montana Tech Ore Diggers will come to the Vikings to end the season. January 23rd and 24th in Bellingham. And the Vikings will finish off their season at the University of Washington Huskies on the 30th and 31st of January. Play back, here's Skylar Slate. He has a goal here. Shot on, tipped there by Logan Powers into the corner for Andre Shapiro. Martz off the wall. Declan Quinn with the slap shot that sails wide. Stick there by Andrew Fan at the blue line. Brett Brumbaugh. Drop off a pass to Aaron James. James with the shot that's steered away by Clothier. Back the other way, here comes Nelson. He gets it into neutral ice. Going to be played by Declan Quinn. 3:30 left in the third period. 37 shots for the Vikings here tonight. To the 16 for the Zags. Here's Brett Brumbaugh. He tries to break in. Collected by Van Bommel. It's going to be played in neutral ice. Declan Quinn. That'll be offsides. Or no offsides. We play on. Van Bommel going to go into the Viking zone. Declan Quinn gets a pass up to Aaron James. Brett Brumbaugh. Here's Andrew Fan. Tried to find it out front. Brumbaugh shoots and scores. Brett Brumbaugh with the hat trick. It is 13-1. Here's Patrick Pearson. He busts his way in. Brett Brumbaugh, his 24th goal of the season. Battled in behind the net. Van Bommel with it for the Bulldogs as he tries to spring past his son. 2 minutes left in the third period. Here's Patrick Pearson. Gets it to James, who drops a pass to Chapman. James drops a pass to Sawai. Sawai with the shot. Try to tip there by Pearson. Colton Bowers steers it to Sun. Really are going to steer it. Go back in. Here's Pearson. Across the blue line. Battling with Clothier. We got some pushing and shoving happening between Pearson and Clothier. With a minute left, they're just going to let the clock wind. Giving Patrick Pearson and Caden Clothier a minor. At the end of this one, they just got kind of try to waste some time. 38 shots for the Vikings, 16 for the Bulldogs. One by Fan, shot by Carver Johnson, sticked away by Clothier. He's looking for his first. Here's Jesse Deegan. He breaks in. Shot on. Blocked there by Nelson. Rebound out front for Fan. He scores. Fan out front, and that should do it. The Vikings get a 14-1 win against the Bulldogs. Their third win against the Bulldogs this season. A lot of goals to be announced, so let's just get this thing started. Hunter Smith, Kyler Slate, Aaron James, Tyler Chapman, Jacob James, Nicholas Sawai, Tyler Chapman again, Aaron James again, Brett Brumbaugh, Aaron James again, Brett Brumbaugh again, and Andrew Fan. Final tonight from Eagles Ice Arena in Spokane, Washington. It is the Vikings 14. The Bulldogs 1. The Vikings will be back in action next Saturday as they take on the Washington State Cougars from Winthrop, Washington. We look forward to seeing you there. From producers Hayden Riggers and Alex Tokheim, I'm Cameron Riggers. We will see you next week.
What's your favorite band?
Ooh, favorite band? Secret, what's a good band?
Band? That's a hard question.
I know. Remember my AC/DC recently, bro. Getting back into this.
Motley Crue.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Ooh, I'd say Fleetwood Mac. Ariana Grande. Modest Mouse. Ooh, King Gibbs.
Motley Crue.
Metallica.
Favorite band? I have two favorite artists, Jake Paul and KSI.
I have to go with the Lumineers.